I keep hearing that ChatGPT is the next Google or that ChatGPT is the Google killer. I really think that people saying this are missing the point. ChatGPT is not a Google killer. ChatGPT is not a search engine. ChatGPT is a completely new product. It's better to think of ChatGPT as a personal assistant, someone with a lot of knowledge who can help you complete tasks and maybe answer some of your questions. If you go to ChatGPT, right on the home page, it'll tell you how it's different than Google. Under limitations, it'll say it has limited knowledge of world and events after 2021. In other words, it is not up to date. It will not show you up-to-date information. It's more like a personal assistant who knows a lot of things from before the year 2022. It's a year behind on its information. Here is just some examples of how they're different. Let's try to ask ChatGPT, what is the Dow at today? It'll tell you, I'm sorry, I'm not able to access current information. I do not have access to the internet. My training data only goes up until 2021. Now let's ask the same thing to Google. It will tell you the most up-to-date results, updated that same minute. Now, on the other hand, let's try to give it a task. Write me a one-page report on the difference between macroeconomics and microeconomics. If you tell that to ChatGPT, it will start writing you out a one-page report on the difference between macroeconomics and microeconomics, and it'll do a really great job. Now let's try to do the same thing on Google. As you can see, it just gives you some answers to questions. It'll give you some articles that it found on the difference between microeconomics versus macroeconomics, but it will not write a report for you because, again, Google is a search engine. It's not a personal assistant like ChatGPT. Let's try another question. What is the weather like in Tallahassee, Florida right now? Again, ChatGPT says, I don't have current information. I'm not able to answer your question. Google, on the other hand, will give you real-time information. Another cool thing that ChatGPT can do is it can create template apps for you. Say you're a developer, you could tell it to write a simple to-do list app using TypeScript. ChatGPT will actually start writing the code out for you. Now try to do the same thing with Google. Obviously, it can't do that. It'll give you some tutorials maybe on YouTube that you could watch to learn how to write a to-do list app, but it will not write your app for you because, again, Google is a search engine. ChatGPT is a personal assistant. Now, even though they're different, there is some overlap. So you could ask a question like, what is the meaning of life? ChatGPT will give you an actual answer. You could ask that same question to Google. Google will give you some search results. So if you were wondering what is the meaning of life, that could be a good instance where you might go to Google and you might go to ChatGPT to see what each answer would be. That's the type of question you could ask both of them and you'll get relevant results. Another example could be how to raise money for a startup with $1,000 in monthly recurring revenue. ChatGPT will start giving you some ideas on how to raise money. Google will give you some articles and results on how to raise money. That's another question you might want to ask both to see what the results are. So kind of these broad idea-based questions, you might want to try using both. So while there is some overlap, there still is a big difference. ChatGPT will always be conversational. When you're working with ChatGPT, it's like you're talking to a person. Google is just a search engine. It will do its best to find the most relevant videos, articles that relate to your search query. Rather than a Google killer, I could see ChatGPT being more of a threat to maybe Stack Overflow, something like that. And here would be an example. Say I have something like unique constraint not working in Postgres. ChatGPT will give you a specific answer. It'll tell you exactly what could be wrong and what you should be checking. If I search the same thing on Stack Overflow, I receive a list of 62 results. I kind of just have to use my best judgment to click on the one that I think is the most relevant, and then I'll have to test things out, see what works. I actually think that ChatGPT may be more of a threat to Stack Overflow because it gives you some direct answers. You're not having to scroll through a lot of answers and hopefully pick the right one. It'll give you some answers right away that you could go ahead and check, see if they work. So while ChatGPT may be the Stack Overflow killer, I don't really see it being the Google killer, at least not yet. But what do you think? Do you think ChatGPT is the Google killer, or do you think it's all hype? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.